I think I'm not a broker, no? I will try to answer that, but I think Architect Hong has a better answer than that because of his experience. Because I don't work with brokers kasi, or anyway, I think it seems from what I hear, the brokers have a standard thing. It is not an ethical thing for them. In other words, you always get a commission every time you sell. No? So from that point of view, that is legal for them. No? It's how they make their money. No? Now, if, for example, they get you into the and get a project through that system, and they share the commission, it's not sharing commission as we know it in our industry as illegal. No? It's perfectly right for them to get that commission, and if they want to share it with you, so that you actually also do that project, I personally think there is not a problem, but I might be wrong, but this is my opinion.
Regular commissions are acceptable in the industry. However, if you are doing a project and it's going to be in your project and your commission, I think you better shy away from it because we don't want the owner to say anything about that you are doing it bathroom dealing with some people. Pero yung, di ba, meron kang recommend sa friend na ganyan, and meron siyang commission doon, senior sa'yo. Wala namang self-division doon. No? Sa trabaho lang natin, yung sa project natin.
Well, with the code of ethics for it to be amended so that more competition, more marketing, the possibility of more advertising options, advertisement options for architects. So it would be more responsive and friendly, especially with the impending MRA and GATS to be implemented by 2015 and 2020.
I'll answer that in 3 phases. The first phase, I will protect the code of ethics. The first place, we have to distinguish, no, in terms of marketing, individual architects or the architecture profession in general. I think there is no prohibition of marketing the architectural profession in general. And I think the current president is architect Sunny Rizal. He's trying to do that. In other words, he's projecting using media, trying to project the image of the architect to the public. I think that is perfect and that is what we should do. Somehow the code of ethics does not allow us to do that as an individual, no? Marketing your services. No? So that is in defense of the code of ethics. Now, attacking the code of ethics. The code of ethics was written prior to the internet age. And I agree that we have to start looking into ways how we can modify and upgrade the code of ethics into the internet age. I'm not saying that we're going to lower our standards. What I'm saying is that there are different new mediums now of trying to reach out to the public to tell people that, hey, this is what an architect does, and this is what we can do. So that's about the going against the current code of ethics. Yes, I think we can agree, we can move ahead. And the third, in preparation for GATS, I am toying around with the idea. I might get shot for this, but anyway, I am the commissioner on professional practice in the UAP, so I have to conceive all of these schemes, In preparation for GATS, one of the things I'm actually conceiving, maybe within the next few years, is to actually scrap the UAP Code of Ethics. Don't laugh, don't smile yet. But replace it with the UIA Code of Ethics, so that if we are able to convince all countries to just follow that UIA Code of Ethics throughout the whole world for architects would be one and the same. That is my dream, and that is something I'll try to work on. So I'll try to, maybe I'll make another presentation, you can invite me to your chapters. I will try to present what is the UIA Code of Ethics, so that we can become more and more familiar, and therefore, in preparation for global practice, we go to other countries, ganon din ang Code of Ethics nila. So the whole world will have one Code of Ethics for all architects.
Okay, let me just take advantage of my age. I'll give you a bit of history. The Code of Ethics, I've seen the Code of Ethics been changed many times. Every time there would be new administration. I've seen it. In other words, our Code of Ethics, while you have very very rigid restriction, is adapting to the needs of the time. And you have the restriction because the profession is protecting the playing field. It must be level because if I am more sikat and I can hire a PR, no, kawawa naman yung mga bagong practitioners. Tatalunin sa advertisement lang, talo na, di ba? So, yun yung basically the concept of that rigidity. And that's why every time yung portion na yun, laging tina-target, di ba? Every time kung sino yung magsisit sa ethics committee, laging nire-review yan. So you can be assured na yung ating code of ethics ay hindi, it will not remain archaic. It is going to be dynamic and can change and follow. But slowly, kasi we cannot open it up kasi baka magulo. Unti-unti lang, para sa ating lahat yun.
Compared to the civil engineers in terms of project management, oftentimes the civil engineers step over the architects. So where does the code of ethics come in?
I think the code of ethics doesn't cover the civil engineers. Sa atin yun eh.
Yes.
So it's very difficult. Actually, project management or construction management is actually still an open field. Anybody can actually practice that. It's not even a licensed profession at the moment, no? So, finance guy can actually accountant and be a project manager, architect, engineer. So, I think from the point of view of architects, it's not covered first of all by our code of ethics. And secondly, it's an open market. Prove yourself and see who is better.
In fact, I've established a company on project management with my partner. And I'm doing the project management for light residences, for sun residences, and for wind residences, and mesa residences. When we started with SM, we only won one project with them nung nagsabit ng bid. After that, lagi kami talo kasi yung price namin medyo hindi sa budget nila. So we always lose. Pero how come we have 3 more big projects? Yung mga nag-bid ng mababa, tatlo, isa-isa yan medyo hindi na-meet yung target. So pinatake over sa amin. So yung sa Rotonda ng Espanya, yung Sun Residences, because they saw our performance at Berkeley. So yung lagi nilang ginagamit na yardstick yun. So pinatake over sa amin. Then after that, yun namang nagka-problema naman yung Tagaytay, yung wind residences. Pinatake over na naman sa amin yun. Tapos yung Mesa 2, may problema rin, pinatake over na naman sa amin. Pero lahat yun, talo kami nung nag-bid kami doon. So I think you have to establish the reputation, no? Okay, bumaba. Ngayon, mas mataas pa yung fee namin kasi medyo iba na yung pressure.
Thank you very much, sir.
You know our love was meant to be.